Did you know God wants to give you an ear transplant? Not a physical one, something far more important than that. Proverbs 20:12 says, "Ears to hear, eyes to see, both are gifts from the Lord." And here's something about that verse that helps you peel back the layers and understand, or to hear. In the Hebrew language, the word for hearing and the word for obeying are the same word. Shema. You've probably heard it before, "Hear, O Israel," but it doesn't mean just to listen. It means to listen and do. Think about it like this for a minute. If a child forgets to take out the trash, you don't say, "Did you not see the trash?" You say, "Did you not hear me when I told you to take it out?" Because hearing was never just about the ears. It's always about the response. So when Solomon says ears to hear are a gift from God, he's saying God gives the capacity to not just listen to truth, but to actually live it. That's the fullness of the gift. Jesus helps us understand this concept in Matthew 13. Jesus says, "Seeing they do not see, hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand." And Jesus is speaking to people who are standing in front of the Son of God, watching miracles, hearing truth. They're right there in front of Jesus, but they cannot hear or see any of it. Now here's where it gets theologically uncomfortable. Jesus is quoting Isaiah 6, where God gives a decree: "Render the hearts of the people insensitive, their ears dull, their eyes dim." God himself is blinding Israel. But this is not God being arbitrary or even cruel. This is God's judgment on people who choose to reject him repeatedly over generation. The people chose not to see, and God confirms them in that blindness. The gift was available, but the people handed it back to God. So how do we receive the gift? Well, it starts with seeing Jesus for who he really is. When Isaiah stood in the presence of God, his first response was awe. And in light of that glory, Isaiah saw his own darkness and cried out he was going to perish. And that's the sequence. You see how great God is, and as a reaction, you see how great your need is. That's why the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Not the middle, not the result, the beginning. Because until you stand in the light of how good God is, you cannot see yourself clearly enough to know what you actually need. So no matter where you are today, it's always God honoring to cry out to the Lord and say, "God, give me ears to hear and eyes to see, so that I may behold your wonder and follow in your ways." Because remember, hearing and doing are not separate things. This week is all on Proverbs and wisdom. So the past 2 videos have been on the topic, and we got 2 more to go.